believe God, you're not faithful to him being able to change you or help you, whatever. But it's very similar with marriage too. That if you're enduring abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, doesn't even matter. It's like if you walk away from your marriage or your vow before God, that somehow that means that you don't have faith or that you're giving up on God because you know that God hates divorce. Right. So it's again like, yeah, you're right. There is an aspect of fear and control that's saying, I need to stay. I have to stay. This is what I've been taught. And if I walk away from this, then that must mean I'm less of a Christian. So not only am I thinking that I'm a really bad wife, but now I'm thinking I'm a really bad Christian too. Yeah. And it's like this really unfair expectation, but particularly on women, because I don't know if you have any input on this, but I don't see that same pressure being put on men to get married, to honor marriage.
No, I mean, well, I guess it just depends because I've seen both sides, and for me, I actually want to get married, but and I'm, by the way, I'm not married, no kids, but I actually want to get married, but this day and time, and you kind of see like how relationships are going, where people are kind of getting together, breaking up, getting together, breaking up, and they're just having kids, and I think that I'm trying to like hold on to the values that I know I have and that I was given when I was raised by my grandmother and things like that, and my morals. And it's just like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know she's out there somewhere. I can't settle for a scenario that I don't want to be a part of. I have to just kind of give myself room to wait for the right one, because I believe that she's out there, right? So rather than
no entanglements for you.
Right. And so another thing is I'm in the military, and it's very common that that like people get married for the benefits, and that's what I avoid, because that, and to me already that just sounds like a bad idea. Hey, marry me because TRICARE and all this and all that. No,
if you get to travel,
yeah,
you have a whole different life, and
right. And so with that being said, I'm just like, I don't want to fall into that temptation. If anything, I want something that's real. I want something that's gonna last. And like I want something that I can trust. Like if it's for materialistic things, then it's probably not gonna last long. And that's just me looking at it for my scenario. I'm not speaking on anybody else's scenario. People have their own understanding and their own perception of what's going on in their situation. So.
Right, got it. So you want something real, something to make sure like your partner is about you, not about material gain, not about the benefits they're going to be receiving, but to have like a solid connection, intimacy, trust, all of that. And it does seem like it's a little bit harder to find these days, real talk.
Yeah, definitely.
But people searching for relationships for benefits is consistent across the board. Like whether that be benefits like we're talking about with healthcare or whatever, or material gain, but also like if I was gonna bring it back to the church scenario, right? One of the biggest reasons people get married is to like be able to have legal sex. Like that's
okay.
one of the terms, right? Like God doesn't want you to have sex before marriage. So if you hurry up and get married, then you're in covenant with this person and you can do whatever you want in the bedroom with them. And it's okay, like it's acceptable now. So you don't have to feel the guilt, shame, or condemnation that comes with premarital sex, which is really interesting because that's like one of the benefits. It's one of the motivating factors. And that could really mess people up because those same things we were just talking about, like intimacy and trust and like companionship, being able to have things in common, you're missing all of that just so you can have some sex. Like, how does that make sense?
Right.
Make it make sense. But it happens. So we rush into the relationships. The woman is feeling like she got to stay because, it's honorable. It's the right thing to do. Going through hell and high water to keep the relationship together.
Yeah.
But the trend I'm seeing is just like the energy is not being matched necessarily from the other side. And where it's just like, oh, well, what we're seeing on TV, movies, and real, whatever it is, reality shows and all of this is that nah, if you really love the person, you're gonna stay, no matter how many girlfriends they have, no matter how many affairs they have, no matter how many lies they tell. And I'm here just like as a therapist, as a Black woman, as a Black Christian woman, to let my audience know, like, nah, this is not it. So let this be the last generation where that is okay, because it's not okay.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just checking in with my followers, my friends, to see where they're at with this. But if you have never watched Married at First Sight, watch the show, because it is it's outrageous.
It's called Married at First Flight.
Married at First Sight.
Oh, okay.
So it's total strangers meeting for the first time on their wedding day. And they get married, they move in together. It's 8 weeks that it's documented, and then they make a decision if they're going to stay married or get a divorce.
Ooh. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yes.
Oh.
It is so intense. So there's a lot of lessons that I'm pulling out from it. But yeah, one of the couples is struggling with like this issue of faith. So
yeah,
the last thing I'll say about this, I guess, is just like a lot of people are pegging this woman as being insecure. Like, oh, she's staying because she doesn't have any self-esteem. She's, she really needs some help to build herself up. Why would she be going through all of this drama with some guy that doesn't seem to care about her? Right. So basically he smashed, right? He had sex with her, but then the next day was like, I'm not attracted to you. Backed up completely, then reeled her in again, pushed her away again, found out his ex-fiance was having a baby by him, pulled her in again, it was like a lot of push and pull.
Yeah.
Very narcissistic, very toxic.
Yeah.
But she kept going back. And I think people are misreading it because they don't understand the cultural component where God is really her center. Like, she came on the show talking about God bringing her to this place in her life, God making sure she got on the season and she got matched, God keeping them together, like bringing them together and keeping them together. So I think that has more to do with it than her self-esteem. And I'm coming from somebody who actually, I have a lot of similarities with her. I was married. I got married thinking that, marriage is the key thing. It's the cornerstone of the church. It's the cornerstone of our community. Like, you got to keep that thing together.
Yeah.
And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. There was a lot of infidelity, a lot of lies, a lot of deceit, a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And I stayed. And I kept coming back. And I kept going and I kept coming back because I really had this idea that for better, for worse means I got to take whatever is given to me. And it's just really not true.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know if I would say she has a self-esteem issue. At this point, she probably does. Yeah. But I wouldn't say that she had a self-esteem issue coming into it.
Right.
I think she really just honored marriage because that's what we're trained to believe.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we brought up thinking and knowing and yearning for from a young age. So, I don't know. You have any final thoughts about that, sir?
I mean, so far I think the topic is awesome. Like, okay, so I mean, I don't, but like, okay, so I guess I do. It's kind of depends, right? Because I think I've come to the conclusion to believe that there are like two versions of like I'm gonna call it Christianity, right? Or I'm gonna use Christianity to label it, right? So you got religion, and then you got spirituality, right? Spirituality is the actual connection between you and God. Religion is
the relationship,
the actual relationship, and then religion is the boundaries, right? Here that the boundary, the physical boundaries, right, that we set for ourselves. And it's just like we set all of these fears, all of these rules, all of these guidelines, as in, hey, if you want to be perfect, you got to do this, and that, right? And we focus so much on these boundaries that are here on earth. It's like we lose the connection with Him, and that's the most important part. But we stop thinking about that connection because we're too busy thinking about I'll never be perfect.
Doing the right thing.
Right. And it's just like, yeah. So
I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm. And that's what was that's the understanding that I've came to the conclusion to have. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I take that. And it's interesting because I actually, as like liberal as I am, and as much as I believe in the power of the relationship that you have with God, like that one-on-one, I still do believe in like the in some of those parameters, right? But I disagree with the way that they're taught.
Yeah.
So as opposed to like instilling fear in people, sending them straight to hell if they don't do something that the Bible says to do, I think that really all of the parameters that were set was for our safety and out of love. So it's similar. The way I see it is like to parenting. Whether I'm gonna like beat and smack and degrade my child if they act out, or if I'm going to explain to them why I have certain parameters in place, right? When you go to the corner, don't run out into the street. You're going to get hit by a car.
Right.
Don't just stand in the corner and beat them down until they understand that. I explain it. Yeah. And I think that's where the churches are lacking, right?
Yeah.
So if I were to tie in something to what the topic we're talking about right now, like, adultery, don't commit adultery. It's not because God don't want you to have fun. It's because you're going to end up hurting other people. You get other folks in the line of fire with their feelings and breaking up families, right? That there's so many reasons why you should not explain that. Like if churches, I think, explain some of those practical reasons why the parameters make sense, why there are boundaries for us in the first place. It's not that God don't want us to enjoy sex, like no premarital sex. No, He don't want you to get hooked up, connected to, and can't let go of unhealthy relationships because you enjoy the sex so much.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's really the only reason. Yeah. Don't get yourself hurt out here. It's not that He's trying to keep you from having an orgasm. Like, He created our bodies to do certain things.
Right.
Like real talk.
Yeah.
So it's not like He's trying to keep us from something. He's trying to like insulate us from pain, from sorrow, from trauma and trauma. So I don't know. I love the parameters, but I'm not really with the fear-based teaching. Something's got to change with that.
Yeah. I think we're on a right track, and I mean, I think it's powerful what you're doing, and I definitely appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak with you. I've been getting declined all day. Oh, and that's what I wanted to tell you is, so I do this for a hobby, right? So there are topics that I talk with other people about, and it's anything and everything. So pretty much you talking with me was perfect. It was perfect timing. I do podcasts, and pretty much I just host whatever it is somebody wants to talk about. I post my streams on YouTube. I just started doing streams on Twitch, and my goal is just to be a voice for everyone, to be ears for people who need someone to listen to them, and also be that point of contact to know that wow, this guy is easy to talk to. So if someone is not much of an extrovert like me, and they're kind of more of an introvert, I usually the person that they can talk to, and like I just love talking to people. I love that human to human connection that it seems like it's going away so much.
It's so important, and it's crucial right now during the quarantine to have that point of contact. As I work with clients who deal with like severe anxiety and have developed depressive symptoms over the quarantine, the number one thing is really just being able to connect with people. That has impacted us way more than we know. We're wired for connection. So without having that, a lot of us are struggling big time. So y'all who are watching, if you have like a business, if you have some topic, if you have something that you need to talk about, follow this man. I'm going to hit the follow button right now.
Yes. I followed you too.
We're connected.
Yes.
Yeah, we're connected for sure. But if you have something that you want to talk about, connect. Connect. He has an audience. He has a voice. He wants to hear yours. So absolutely, like, let's support one another. What's the name of the podcast? Someone is asking, what's the name of your podcast?
It's Payday Robbie. PEY. Well, I mean, it is in my bio description on my page, but it's PEYDAY ROBBIE. So it's Payday Robbie.
Okay, Payday Robbie. And so you can be found here on TikTok, and you post your podcast on YouTube as well, and some other platform I've never heard of. What was that?
Twitch.
With a T?
Twitch. It's like Switch, but Twitch. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that I accepted, because usually I decline.
I've been getting declined all day.
But you're here, and I'm glad that you're here. So again, anybody, if you want to follow, support, right? It doesn't take anything to hit and cost a thing to support people who are doing their thing. So I support you. Thank you for being here. I'm already following. You're my 300. You know what I'm saying? So you made 300 of people that I'm following on TikTok.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time, and thank you for showing up.
Oh yes, no problem. Anytime.
All right. I have no idea how to disconnect this thing.
I got you. All right. Take care.
All right.
Good night. All right. Co-hosting. All right. Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but look, for y'all who paying attention and listen, a viewer had told me that they wanted me to do a taste test for them. They want to see my reaction. Stay tuned for that. I'm gonna try to do it both on here and on Twitch. Yeah. Stay tuned.